A little bit tricky what we're about to discuss right now, because hearing from so many people, especially lawyers, Mr. President is right for being decisive, but he shouldn't have suspended an elected governor and the whole House of Assembly. What's your take?
Well, that's one side of the argument, and this is the right decision. And one must come. It's timely, it's decisive, and it's necessary. And one must commend the president for taking the bull by the horn. Because at the end of the day, the question we need to ask ourselves, must the president wait up until the tipping point whereby there is total anarchy in that state before taking a decision? And most of the people, I've heard the argument for and against. But the question you need to ask yourself is this. If you are not happy with the Constitution, if you have issues with the Constitution, you don't take it with the president, you take it with the members of parliament. Then you go to the parliament and tell them that, look, this aspect of the Constitution, there's likelihood there's going to be an abuse, can we amend it? During the Saraki era, if my memory serves me right, there was an amendment to the Constitution, there were a lot of consultation. Most of these people who are criticizing the president for taking this decision, where were they then? Why did they approach that committee and say, look, this section of the Constitution, let's try and amend it? And also, they are saying, I know, and I could see where they are coming from, that there is no provision in the Constitution for the president expressly to suspend the governor or the House of Assembly. I do agree with that line of argument, but that is one side of the argument. The other side of the argument is to look at the provisions of the Constitution, because it could be implied. Because if you look at that section 305, which is used by the president, it clearly states that where there is a total breakdown of public order, public safety in the federation, or any part thereof, to such extent as to require extraordinary measures to restore peace and security. You now need to ask yourself that fundamental question, that will the president just go out and say, look, I'm declaring a state of emergency in Rivers State. The dramatic personnel causing the crisis, we will still leave them in place. Then that means your decision is not effective. So that extraordinary measures require the president to ask these people that, look, either one, they can ask them to be arrested, even to start with, as part of that extraordinary measure. But the president has decided not to do that. What he now did is said, look, we are not removing you, but step aside for now, so that there will be peace and order in that state. And this is a right decision, and I support it. And people need to be very careful. We are in a democracy. You cannot expect the president to be playing a dog whistle politics, whereby because we don't want the opposition to criticize us, we need to try as much as possible. Anyway. Exactly. And he has taken this decision. We must respect that decision. And the people who are criticizing the president, there is an alternative. And even, let's bring it home. You have a business to run. You have 2 employees working with you. They are supposed to work together for your business to be successful. Then you call them to a meeting and say, look, resolve your differences. I want peace to reign. I want all of you to work together as a team. And despite that, they are still bickering. Every day you come to the office, what you are doing is to be resolving crisis. At a point, you will need to sit down and tell them that, look, I have a business to run. If the 2 of you cannot work together, I will take a decision. Yes. And also, when you invite people for an interview, is it not the question you ask them that, what is your attitude to teamwork? And they will tell you, I'm ready to learn you. I can get on. Do you get me? So do you want the president? You see, for government to function, all the 3 arms of government must work in harmony with each other. If you have a situation, I know there is a little bit of policy whereby sometimes the judiciary can take a decision. Parliament will make a law in order to override that decision. That is normal. There is nothing wrong with that. But if you have a situation where the executive cannot work with the legislator, then we have a problem in this country. And the president made that clear in his speech.